Hi, I'm Micki.
Hi, I'm Kat.
Welcome to the new moon in Cancer. Ooh, July
Mm.
2023. Welcome home. We have a new beginning of some sort coming up here, even if it's somehow you went backwards to get a new start.
Yeah,
Yeah, we have this giant retrograde going on with Venus.
yeah. Well, she hasn't gone retrograde yet, has she?
She started her shadow on the 19th of June.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
And right
we're
after
just
the new moon, right after the new moon, she'll go retrograde. Yeah.
right. This is happening right now as the new moon is opposite Pluto, and we've just come off um, a grand square, right?
Hmm.
A grand cross with between the nodes and Pluto. So this is interesting.
Still pretty on that square.
We're still pretty on that square. I mean, only the moon is off a little bit because the moon is not really making the square with it before. Mars, I think, was, and now it maybe moved off just a little bit. Let's take a look at it. Let's take a look at it.
So what's the chart?
Let's see that chart. Here's our moon let's get this puppy over.
Ah, yes.
Yeah,
24 Cancer. Pluto at 29 Capricorn.
right. Pluto
Pluto's still
29.
retrograde.
Right. Pluto's still retrograde. The new moon shining in the sign of Cancer, which is the sign of, home, respite, the crab. Crab carries its own home. Um, and
Comes to think sideways.
Mars opposite, coming off of the
Um,
opposition with, or coming into an opposition with Saturn.
mhm,
So, that's pretty close right now. But Mars is no longer conjunct Venus.
mhm.
So we're off of that conjunction. Black Moon's out of the picture. So these guys have widened up. And Mars being in a completely different sign now that Mars is gone. Bye-bye. Mars is
Mhm.
Mars is busy.
In Virgo.
Yeah. Mars is busy doing something organizational that you need to get done, and you're having to worry about stoppages.
Hmm.
So we got something, the tension on this rope as Mars pulls one direction and Saturn pulls the other direction, maybe creating some tension in our life between the Pisces house and the Virgo house
Ah,
for another week or
okay.
so So I think, we also have an interesting square here, right, with Mercury and Jupiter.
Hmm.
So maybe some big talk is trying to turn a corner, we're trying to turn a corner with some big talk.
Okay. Time for some important conversations. Big
Yeah,
conversations.
yeah. And then I'd say, I mean, there's a lot in here, but I'd say also we've got this sextile trine between the Uranus and the moon.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And the
So,
trine between the moon and Neptune.
oh, right. Yeah, the sextile between Uranus and the trine between Neptune and the moon. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Which also creates um, I don't think it's appointed Thales is what I want to use. Oops,
I don't know what that's called.
there's a name for it. Um, because we've got an inconjunct also here as well. So
Yeah.
with Pluto, so Pluto's kind of an important player in this, and since Pluto's now back in Capricorn,
Mm-hmm.
um, I think it's kind of interesting for me, Pluto and Capricorn, because my fourth house is Capricorn.
Mm-hmm.
There was a lot going on in my home during the 10-12 years that Pluto was in Capricorn,
Oh.
and as we moved forward with, as Pluto moved forward into Aquarius, that stuff kind of lightened up, but
Mm-hmm.
now it's back in Capricorn. So I am
Mm-hmm.
personally revisiting those things back in the plutonic things back in my home. Pluto's at home.
In fourth house.
Whereas you're opposite me, right? So is
Yeah.
Pluto for you in Cancer?
No,
Sorry,
Pluto,
sorry, is Pluto for you in
10th
your
house.
10th house?
Yes.
Yeah. So Pluto's at work. So you had Pluto at work and Pluto at work and Pluto at work and Pluto at work for a long time. And then it went away from Pluto at work. And now it's back. Pluto's back at work.
Yeah.
So do you feel that in your work area?
Well, I did just spend all of yesterday reorganizing my work area and repositioning some of my tools. So
And I spent all of yesterday redoing my home area. Yes, repositioning my shampoo.
I moved my drill press.
Yeah, I
Both
opened
made
up a
me feel.
door that had been closed off.
That'd be so. Oh, if anybody's watching and put in the comments what house your Pluto is in and what you did yesterday or a week ago maybe.
Right, anytime between a week ago and now, because that's, you know, this has been happening. Pluto's slow, right? This is
Yeah,
something we're gonna have some time to mull over. What does this
right,
mean for me? Back here again.
right. Here we are again.
But to me, I think the meaning is in mulling over it in my own life, for me, is that this new moon, which is a new start, it's a
Mm.
start again.
Start again. Start
It's a
again.
start again, right? Because it's happening where opposite Pluto, which has just returned and is still retrograde to where it's been for so very long.
Mhm.
So it's like maybe you felt like you couldn't make the new start you needed to make, or you made it prematurely. You weren't
Mhm.
really ready to take off in the way you wanted to. But now we get a chance to consider this new beginning again and start again.
Yeah. Or life got in the way
It
and you
happens
got
that way.
distracted like
Yeah,
it does.
yeah. So I think we just have an opportunity to start again.
Start again. Okay, that's good.
Start
That's
again.
good.
Write that down. Like,
Pluto is still at that degree of businessmen in a large corporation meeting in secret.
oh, that's interesting. And it does feel like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you watch the news, we're hearing mostly about men doing secret things
Which
in
is all the
government
news
ways.
ever is.
That's true, but there's women sometimes. I just recently saw a show about a bunch of women politicians. I was like,
Doing
wow,
things in
there's
secret.
actually women heads of states. There are actually women heads of state.
There are,
There,
there are.
there are. We just don't hear news about them very often. So I was actually enjoying a news program where they interviewed several women heads of state. So
Huh?
they do exist, but all we're hearing about now are these plutonic things going on. Boom, boom, boom.
Yeah,
But
there's a reason for that.
it's not gonna, I mean, we do have this here until I think 2025, but then
Right.
it's out of there for good. And then it's in the house of the people.
Right. Then maybe we'll get things like what women leaders do, things like universal childcare, paid family leave for everyone, no matter what your job is.
There's actually things that we could do that don't kill our sons too.
Oh, hey,
I know, is that
that
amazing?
amazing, amazing. You could not kill your children.
You can not kill your children. Yeah. So plutonic, but we can move away from that.
Come on, Aquarius.
Aquarius, yeah. So we've got it's an interesting configuration here, especially now with that Mars. And I wonder how, these two oppositions,
Right.
I think, are gonna create some opportunity. There is an opportunity in the tension, because when that tension is relieved, especially if you've been working towards something,
Hmm.
as long as the string doesn't break,
Mm.
um, when we have a tension between Mars and Saturn, there's a concern that, you'll push too hard and Saturn will say stop and something will
Hmm.
break. So that would be a concern, is don't physically overdo it, especially in the house of Virgo,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Good
Because
point.
Saturn's pulling against that, and there may be a big stop sign that just says, oop.
Mm-hmm. Sometimes those oppositions are about balancing acts, supporting each other to be whole. So, like, don't do too much Virgo without remembering your Pisces.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Good point. Good point. And that there's a place in which there's an opportunity to use both of them so that you have both the energy and the structure.
Right.
If you can get to that balance point, then you can find that place where you're able to energize within some kind of a framework.
Mm-hmm.
So, and here again, the new moon opposition is between Capricorn and Cancer, but this is Pisces Virgo axis.
Mm-hmm.
And that Pisces Virgo axis, is, Saturn in a water sign is trying to create structure, in a slow way,
Uh-huh.
right? In a
Nice and
slow, maybe,
gentle.
yeah, subterranean way, or with Neptune there, especially maybe a little vague, maybe difficult to see the structure underwater.
Mm-hmm.
And Mars in a Virgoan sign is just about, let's get this done. Well, let's just get this done.
Yeah, be real practical about it.
And Mars may be going glug, 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 or, Saturn is glug, glug, glugging along, and Mars is like, let's get this done. So could be an interesting thing. It'd be good to look at where you have Pisces, what house that is, and where you have Virgo, because that axis is going to get activated here for a couple of weeks
Mm-hmm.
as you get something done.
Get something done.
Get something done. What's our Saturn Sabian symbol?
Pisces 6.
Pisces 6.
Okay. Illuminated by a shaft of light, a large cross lies on rocks, surrounded by sea and mist.
Ooh, interesting. Read that one again.
Illuminated by a shaft of light, a large cross lies on rocks, surrounded by sea and mist. It's interesting that the cross is lying on rocks and not upright, as if
Yeah,
it's falling over.
yeah, it's interesting. Um,
It goes to that dreaminess of Neptune and Pisces,
right. Which
surrounded
is
by
also
mistiness
symbols of religiosity.
or spirituality.
Right.
Yeah.
I'd love to hear, Rick Levine has a wonderful lecture on the meanings of all the symbols.
Oh, wow.
And I know that, I remember some of his lecture on the Saturn symbol, which is obviously the sign T, the cross, and
Mm.
also the symbol of the circle, this or the snake. I can't remember how he's envisioning that.
Yeah.
Um, and that creates the sound ST.
Oh,
And that ST describes most things that we think of as Saturnine, right?
interesting.
Stop, stasis, structure. All those ST signs are very Saturnine words. A
Fascinating.
lot of ST words are Saturnine words. Furthest, strongest, best. All that
Mhm.
ST at the end is also a Saturnine expression, because that's the furthest limits, or was when Saturn was considered the furthest limits of the planets out there.
Whoa.
So the cross laying on its side is kind of an interesting symbol, because it does have to do with Saturn symbolically.
Interesting.
It is. And I don't remember hearing that Sabian symbol in relation to before. I don't think we've looked at that one.
Yeah, I don't know that we've come across that one before.
What about Mars there at 4 degrees Virgo?
For Virgo. I should know it because it's my Saturn's 3 Virgo. For Virgo. A man becoming aware of nature spirits and normally unseen spiritual energies.
And that's Virgo.
Yeah.
What a spiritual designation in the sign of Virgo.
Yeah.
That's very
Becoming aware
interesting.
and becoming aware, that illumination that Saturn is at, illuminated by a shaft of light, becoming aware of something that's normally unseen.
Satori, that instant knowing.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, and you have Saturn now opposite your Saturn.
Yes.
That's interesting. How is that going?
I'm feeling very motivated to get organized. So yeah, I was redoing my workspace at home, which is also a kind of study dreamy space. Like I have these different zones in my basement room with like a yoga and then my jewelry making and then my writing. And my writing has a bed. And for the first time last night, I slept in my bed in the basement so that I could get up and first thing in the morning and do yoga.
Nice, nice. That's a great way to activate the structure of the dreaminess of this. Yeah,
Right?
wonderful way to use that
I didn't
energy.
do that on purpose. I hadn't even looked at the chart yet.
Yeah, that's cool how, as above, so below, we reflect those energies. Those
Right?
energies are something that motivate us.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fascinating. So I think it's really important for people to take a look at if they have any uh, planets or points that are important here in Virgo across from Pisces and, coming close to this opposition, or again in Capricorn or in Cancer
Mm-hmm.
and activating this opposition.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, you might be trying to that too. There's, other ways you might be impacted by these two oppositions, but there's certainly going to be going on for a while. This is not a quick thing. This is a slow, because these are slow moving planets. Even
Mm-hmm.
though Mars is a quick moving planet, it's still going to have an opposition here for about a week with Saturn. And same, even though the sun and moon move on, this creates a trigger point that really impacts us for the next 2 weeks as the moon moves around the zodiac.
Yeah.
So it's
Some
a
people say the full month from new moon to new moon.
yeah, yeah, exactly. So let's look at a couple more Sabian symbols. I am personally curious about the Neptune. I know it's again another one of the slow moving ones. It's opposite I have Venus and Virgo.
It's
So
been
that's
there for a
giving
while.
me exactly, and it's been there for a while, and I'm curious what's that Sabian symbol mean?
A fertile garden under the full moon.
Oh, I like that. Yeah. I'm doing some creative projects, so having the fertile garden says maybe I'll have the um, imagination necessary to do what I want to pull off.
Mm-hmm.
And how about let's go on a little bit further. I'm going to skip Chiron for now, but what's this Jupiter, which is
An
square Mercury, tell us?
11 Taurus. A young couple walk down Main Street window shopping.
That's kind of fun.
Yeah, that is pretty fun. It seems romantic
It
and
does.
aspirational. I mean, when you're window shopping, you're not actually shopping, but you're just dreaming,
Yeah.
getting some inspiration.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Very Taurian.
Yeah, right.
Very Taurian.
I imagine them like arm in arm.
Right. And Jupiter's
They're
a
like,
beneficial thing. Maybe they'll find a ring.
oh, hey.
What's its square? What's the Mercury there at 12? Leo.
Oh, Leo. An old sea captain rocking on the porch of his cottage.
Uh-huh. And we've had that before. I think we must have looked at that when Venus was there.
Hmm.
So that's interesting. Uh, that juxtaposition, it does seem like something in square.
A
Things that,
young couple, yeah, and a young couple and an old sea captain.
yeah, that does seem like something in square. You're gonna have a hard time meshing those two things.
Maybe the old sea captain is reminiscing about when he was a young couple
Yeah, yeah.
and they bought that rocking chair when they're shopping.
Yeah, we've got Mercury is now following Venus, right? And Mercury is going to go right on by Venus because Venus is retrograde here within the next hours. We're going to have a retrograde Venus,
Mm-hmm.
and as Venus retrogrades, they're going to conjunct as Mercury moves on by, and
Right.
moves on by. In fact, catches up with Mars and keeps on going.
Do we know what degree they're conjunct at?
The Mercury and
Mercury and Venus.
we can take a look. Let's take a look.
Like I wrote down when Venus was transiting my own Mercury, which is in Leo, but I didn't look to see when they were both together. Gonna go a day at a time.
Yeah, I don't think it's very long. Oh, maybe better go a week.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're getting close. They're conjunct now.
Oh,
Both at 28 degrees of Leo on July 27th. So 1 week.
Write that day down.
Yeah, what's 28 Leo?
A mermaid rising out of the ocean, awaiting rebirth in human form.
Oh, nice.
I know that one off the top of my head.
Yeah. What's at your 28 Leo?
My son is at 29 Leo.
Okay, yeah.
But I kind of claim 28 Leo because I like it a little better.
Yeah, right on. Well, that's going to be very interesting for you, having both of those conjunct on your sun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What day is the 27th, July 27th? I want to write that down.
Yeah. I don't know what day it is, but boy, that's going to be real nice. And this is somehow where, we're going to have a conversation about what's been going on with Venus. And again, Mercury is going to go right on past Venus, catch up with Mars as Venus moves back into Leo and traverses back all the way to 8 degrees of Leo. And then goes back again. So any planets that you have in Leo, including your sun, are getting the rub.
Right.
As it goes over it and over it and over it. So I think it's pretty interesting. I'm gonna move back to our thing.
One more day. Yeah, there you go.
So don't like him. Pop that out. Cover up the commercial. Okay. Commercials are everywhere. So it's a pretty interesting moon, and the nodal shift is also a big impact on this because we see them right at this second, this second of the moon. But while the moon is still new, while it's still opposite Pluto, this puppy, they're shifting into, it already has. It shows it already at 2944, sorry. 2944 Aries and Libra. So the shift has just occurred.
Okay.
Like within an hour before this moon, these were in Taurus and Scorpio. And this shift is, like a year and a half shift of the nodal axis now being in Aries and Libra.
So our eclipses are going back into Aries and Libra.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. And
okay.
the letting go now is, we were in a big place of letting go in Scorpio and moving towards Taurus.
Okay.
Now we're letting go in Libra and moving towards Aries.
Okay.
Or we're looking at the value of the things in the past that were Libra and moving towards Aries, taking that value into the future, letting go of something, moving away from something after we've acknowledged it in Libra and moving towards something in Aries. So it's a very major shift in our perspective.
Shit. And for us, it's switched. So for you, you got to let go of something personal, and for me, I got to let go of something relational.
Yeah, I'm going to focus on weight.
Okay. Okay.
I'd like to
Let
lose
that shit
weight.
go.
And
Yeah,
that's a very Libra, I'm Libra first house, so letting go of some extra weight would be
yeah,
perfectly fitting with the symbology.
it would be. It would be.
Letting go of other first house things might fit the symbology, but I'd rather not. If and you know what I mean.
I gotta let it go of some relational things. I'm not gonna think too hard about that just yet. It's just started.
Right. We have a year and a half to know what this is all about.
Okay. I mean, I'm cool with like moving towards some independence and personal things that are all about me. Like, I got a family. I don't always spend time on me.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Letting go of some relationship things could be, I don't know. It's going to be an interesting shift. I'm interested to see what it's going to do too. Like I said, I think for me personally, I'm going to use this Saturn and structure my workouts, use
yeah,
the Mars to energize those workouts,
yeah.
and let go of the fat in my first house.
Okay.
So there's a way to see where is Saturn again for you? And uh, this is your 12th house,
That's right.
right? What do you structure in the 12th house that's being energized by something in the 6th house? And then letting go of something in the Aries house.
No, letting go of something in the Libra house.
I thought you were first house Aries.
I am, but we're moving towards first house.
Oh, right, because you're moving, yeah, because the south node's here, or north node's here. You're moving towards, yeah, sorry, I got that backwards.
Right.
You,
It's
I would still be looking
probably,
at that and then the Libra sense of what you're letting go of then,
yeah,
right? What
yeah,
you're what you're structuring, what your energy is about, and then what you're letting go of.
yeah. I mean, I'm letting go of my shared bedroom to have my own sleeping space so that I can get up in the morning and do exercise. And also so that when I go to bed at night, I can stay up late and write without being interrupted because I'm sharing a room. Right now, then now if I start sleeping in my own space, then I can stay up as late as I want writing and get up in the morning and exercise. So killing two birds with one stone.
Two birds with one stone. So I think when we look at this, I usually put something in the notes down below about one of the shifts that we're going through. But there's so many here
There
that
are a
it's
lot
hard to
here.
know, well, I think the thing maybe to focus on is the obvious Pluto back in Capricorn and the new moon telling us we're starting something new again,
Again,
Capricorn
yes. For
and
the
Cancer.
time.
Right. We're going back and we're starting again. Start again.
Find
So I
your
think
roll in the hole and start again.
So I think in the notes, I think I should just do what we're starting again.
Yeah.
Will you do 24 of Cancer for us?
Yes, I know this one also almost by heart because it's my Black Moon. And it is something like a woman and two men alone on an isolated island, something
Oh,
like that.
ooh,
It's sexy.
that's sexy.
I got a sexy Black Moon. 24. Oh, actually, that's 23. So never mind. 24. A leader of men wrapped in an invisible mantle of power.
Yeah, yeah, we're back to all this. The whole symbology is about this political vice grip we're in right now all over the world. So, of course, this translates into our individual life in some way. There may be some way in which the plutonic energies, which are not always seen as positive, although they are transformational, are creating tension between, whatever's going on in your Capricorn house and a new beginning you'd like to see.
I'm gonna take it in this direction of we get to be leaders in our own lives.
I like that.
And we have more power than we're aware of.
Yeah, I like that a lot too. This cloaked in invisibility, perhaps we need to acknowledge our power and take it on and to be able to move forward with this new moon.
That's what I'm thinking.
I get you. I hear that.
I'm thinking you got to claim your power. Take it away from that boardroom of men meeting in secret somewhere else and recognize you got your own power and you're your own leader.
I like that. I think that works really well. And it ties back around to what we were talking about to begin with. This sign representing these men in the boardroom and all these male politicians we keep hearing about. But you know what? There are female heads of state. And there are people in power positions that are gender neutral.
True.
And it's kind of time to move away from an old paradigm that let's begin again.
Let's begin again. For the umpteenth time.
For the umpteenth time. It's time to begin again.
We'll just keep doing it.
Yeah, and I think this may bring us, this I think is our last new moon. I'm not positive about that. It can't be. Well, it may be the last one that's directly opposite here.
Yeah, probably
4 degrees, within 3 degrees of Pluto. I mean, that's a pretty close opposition. But we do have another year almost before Pluto leaves and comes back for the rest of our lives. We'll never see it again because we're talking, more than a couple hundred years before it's back in Capricorn.
Right. I'm suddenly feeling like a lot of sympathy, empathy for anybody who has Pluto in the last degrees of Libra, because you're in your Pluto square has been going on for forever.
Oh, and talk about a giant change right. Yeah. If there's any square with the nodal axis, I mean, we're out of square with the nodal axis. So if you've got anything going on at the end of Libra here, you're feeling it. You are feeling this. Exactly. Right. And same true if you've got anything here at the end of Aries.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, this wheel, which we don't really see the lines here of because they're not marked for the nodes, but there's a big red line here and the big red line here marking this nodal axis.
Right.
This turn of the wheel is a challenge, but I think it's a real transformation that's going to take us to a new place.
Yeah.
When we are all in Aries, when Mars pulls around Aquarius, when Mars pulls around next February is in Aquarius, and we've moved beyond the Venus retrograde, we're going to be in a very new place. Next year. Next February, this new beginning we're creating has long-term implications.
Yeah.
Long-term.
So get a handle on your invisible power.
Yeah. Claim it.
Claim it.
Claim your power.
Yeah. It's not a cloak of invisibility. It's a cloak of invisible power.
Yeah. Yeah. Love that. All right. Any final notes for everybody before we go? I just like that. Claim your invisible power.
Claim your invisible power. I think that's a good one. I think we hit it. The Virgo Pisces axis. Figure out your Virgo Pisces axis because there's Saturn Mars stuff at play. Figure out your Capricorn Cancer axis because you got the subterranean power play going on. And then God bless to all the people with stuff at the end of Aries and Libra.
Right.
Square to it all.
Big transformations. You'll be looking at this going, wow, that was a time of change.
Yeah. It's so much easier to look back on it and be like, oh, yeah, I remember what's going on when that happened.
Yeah.
So much harder to plan ahead. Yeah.
Yeah. A little forewarning too, to just think about what do you want to begin again?
Begin again.
Begin again. All right. Well, you guys have a great new moon, and we'll see you on the full.
Bye.
Bye.